And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Pascack Clutch Podcast. I'm Matthew Merlino, along with Michael McKay, Alex McKay, Sam Koppelman, and Sean Barry. We'll bring you through a lot of the news in the professional sports world, but let's start with our own Pascack Hills Sports and Pascack Sports, because we'll throw the swimming team, which combines Hills and Valley, in there with it. Starting with wrestling, they made the state team tournament, ranked at number 6. They will play on Monday at Westwood against High Point. That'll be at Westwood High School. They're the number 2 seed in the tournament. It's kind of like March Madness, where they have the first 2 rounds at a neutral site or at a certain site. So that'll be Monday. I believe it's supposed to start probably around 4 or 5 o'clock. Not sure about that. See if I can get that to you.
Also, and Valley this Friday.
Valley is this Friday. Thank you for remembering that, Sam. We have a big Friday for you right here on the PH Athletics YouTube channel. We'll have coverage of our Pascack hockey team senior night as they take on the Northern Valley team, combining Northern Valley, Demarest, and Old Tappan. And then we'll head over to Valley to get Hills Valley wrestling coverage for you. Boys basketball has made the Bergen Invitational Tournament quarterfinals, where they will take on Cresskill, who they already beat this year early in the year. That is this Saturday at Indian Hills. The time has not yet been announced. And we want to give a shout out to our girls swimming team, combining Hills and Valley, because they have finished their regular season undefeated at 8-0. Now, time to get into the college and professional sports. We'll go over to Sean, our resident college basketball man, for our breakdown. You've got 2 to 3 minutes, maybe a bit more. Let's get things started.
All right, so this past Saturday in the Big East, what happened? Georgetown Providence, Ed Cooley made his first return to Providence after the first time leaving Providence to coach Georgetown, and Providence won 84-76. Marquette has been struggling a bit, and when they were Seton Hall, they won 75-57. And Villanova at Butler at Hinkle Fieldhouse, what a game that was. That game went into double overtime, and the Butler Bulldogs won 88-81. And then we also had an upset in the Big 12. Iowa State at Kansas. Iowa State upsets Kansas at home and won 79-74. And then on Sunday, good game in the Big Ten, Purdue at Rutgers. Purdue won 68-60, and number one, UConn keeps on rolling. They won on Sunday against Xavier, and they won easily at home, and they won 99-56. 2 games that happened in the Big East yesterday. Marquette Villanova. That game was a close finish. Marquette got the job done and won 85-80. And then Seton Hall DePaul, after losing a couple of games, they came back yesterday and got the win and won 72-39, and they did get Kadar Richmond back. And an upset in the ACC yesterday. Georgia Tech upsets number 3 ranked North Carolina 74-73 at home.
And that does lead into UNC Duke this weekend, which
yes.
Sean will get into our big weekend of college basketball. We've got a lot of top 10 matchups this weekend.
And right now, the Big East standings right now, UConn, Marquette, Creighton, Seton Hall, Providence, St. John's, then Butler, Xavier, Villanova, Georgetown, DePaul. And the top 10 in rankings right now, UConn's number 1, Purdue 2, UNC 3, Houston 4, Tennessee 5, Wisconsin 6, Duke 7, Kansas 8, Marquette 9th, and Kentucky 10th. And
how are we looking this weekend, Sean?
Yes, and this weekend
he's got it. Don't
yeah,
worry.
My computer's just sudden. This weekend, we got one really big game in the Big East. UConn at St. John's. That game is at 12 p.m. on Fox. And then yes, we also have Duke at North Carolina.
Huge game.
Yes, that
Huge
game.
Huge.
It's a top 10 matchup. UNC did lose to Georgia Tech, but that's going to be the game.
That'll be a glimpse of March for us. Absolutely.
It's 6 o'clock ESPN, right? And is it at Cameron Indoor or is it at UNC?
Yeah. Hold on,
I think it's at Duke.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, I think it's at UNC. Hold on,
really?
let
Let's check
that out.
Duke
Duke at North Carolina at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN.
So at Chapel Hill a very big game on Saturday.
Yeah,
and then another game at 5:30 p.m. on Fox in the Big Ten. Maryland at Michigan State,
and don't forget we have number 4 Houston versus number 8 Kansas. Now a Big 12 matchup. That's 4:00 on ESPN, leading into that Duke North Carolina game. It's going to be
bunch of big games.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
This weekend is like a glimpse of March, pretty much.
Yeah, this is honestly
this is going to be the best weekend of the regular season.
If there was one weekend to start watching college basketball this year, it's this weekend right here. There's no NFL playoffs to watch. It's on a Saturday, even Saturday. From 12 noon all the way to 9 o'clock at night, maybe even later. Plop your ass down on the couch and watch college basketball.
There's not even hockey. It's on the All-Star Week.
Then when Houston at Kansas is home, that game's at 4 p.m. on ESPN.
The skills game for NHL is Friday and Saturday, I believe.
Yeah.
All-Star weekends from actually the Thursday to the 4th.
Yeah.
So first we have Houston at Kansas, and after that we follow up with Duke at North Carolina.
Yep.
What a day! What a day!
Games
honestly.
on ESPN.
What a weekend!
And then Iowa State and Baylor, which is scheduled for ESPN too, but that's 12 versus 18. They may move that up. And Tennessee at Kentucky on ESPN, number 5 versus number 10. So 3 incredible Saturday games, 3 top 10 matchups. Which, my goodness, this should be great. UNC is number 3. Of course, they did lose to Georgia Tech. Duke is number 7 right now. And that, as always, could be a battle for supremacy in the ACC. We haven't talked about the NHL for a while here on the Pascack Clutch, and we've missed out on a lot. In fact, I haven't been watching the NHL for a while now, so I'd like to turn it over to our own Sam Koppelman to get myself posted on the NHL, but also you all posted.
So honestly, even though the West this year has been a bunch of teams in the West have been playing great this year, like the Oilers, Vegas, Winnipeg.
And the Oilers have come back from a very bad
I know.
Speaking of the Oilers, I think are on a 16-game
winning streak. Yep.
After
going to this break.
Yeah, they were like 12 and 4 and
they were playing
16 at one point, and now they're in like the 3rd ranked team in the power rankings after being like 3rd to last. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of winning streaks, actually no, sorry. This weekend is very important for a lot of teams. It gives the time to reset, to practice, to just have an overall redo of their season.
Yeah.
Because the second half of the season, you're already at 55% way through the season.
It's the final push towards the playoffs. Once the All-Star break gets done, we've only got about 2 months until
if teams like the Devils really want to make the playoffs this year, they have to start trading.
Oh, yes.
They have to start really pushing for it. But honestly, I was just thinking about this the other day. I see the Devils either just barely making it into the playoffs, being that number 2 seed, or just missing out in that number 3 seed. And I see the same thing with the Flyers, where they're either number 2 in the Metro or number 3 in the Metro.
Speaking of the Flyers,
because they've been playing fantastic.
Yeah, but speaking of the Flyers, their goalie just got injured, so they're kind of
that could hurt them. They're sitting number 3 in the Metro right now. The Devils are 6 points out of the final slot.
Yeah, they have been.
The Islanders are 5 points out, but it's a long gap to Detroit.
There was a article yesterday by BR Open, Bleacher Report Open, which is an open
hockey
ice
division. Yes,
is a hockey division, and it's saying that that one word to describe each team's season so far, the Devils was yikes.
Yes,
because it was so terrible, and they were expected to do so much better.
It's injuries.
It's been a very disappointing season.
It's injuries, and we don't have a defense or a goalie. Because VTech can only do so much, and he can barely do anything on his own.
Your goalies are terrible.
Yes.
And if you're a Schmidt,
don't have goalies.
No,
and then
so bad.
On top of that, you have Timo, who's been on and off. Dougie's out for the season unless you make the playoffs. Jack Hughes just got injured.
Oh yeah. He's been injured for a while, hasn't he?
The only person, actually, no, not even injured since before January.
And I think this All-Star weekend, this 5-day break, is going to be huge for the Rangers because they're going to figure out how to deal with Filipino injury, which, in case people didn't know, he is out for the season. He was out for 3 months. He was questionable with I believe a concussion. and other upper body injuries.
He hasn't even been in the country for a while. I think
He was practicing the other day with the Rangers, and then he was wearing a no contact jersey.
I feel
and then during an open ice skate, he re-injured whatever was going on, which caused a major setback, which caused him to
and
not.
I feel like, wasn't he in like Czechia or somewhere like that?
Yeah, he was for a while.
Yeah. And more recently, he just came back, and now the news that he's out for the year with that injury. So, unfortunate for the Rangers. But this, as you continue to say, this weekend is the biggest
I think
weekend.
management is really going to look into that third line center because we had 2 chances at that third line center. I really like the 2 of them. I really like Bonino. Who else played for them? Do you remember?
Got a bad person.
He got called up.
Right, for the centers in general?
Yeah, for the Rangers. I don't remember, but he had
Vincent Trocheck?
No, he was called
the
up.
lower down.
Oh,
he was lower down. It was a
know.
couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But he was playing really well, but then he fell off after a couple games. So we've had some third. We need somebody to pair with that third line after Trocheck and Mika.
Yeah.
So I think their management is really going to be looking at that the next couple of weeks, especially since trade deadline is March 8th.
I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of trades in this tri-state area.
No, I have no doubt there's going to be a lot of trades.
And I'm inclined
deadline.
to agree with the Devils playing like this and the Rangers needing somebody on.
There's
the third
so
line
many
in the
good
middle.
teams this year, and there's so many bad teams this year.
Yeah.
And then there are a lot of like middle range teams this year.
Like the
So
NFL.
many teams.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Well,
Not really, though.
but like
Nah, he's kind of right.
The quality of play is better.
the
but-
quality of
we
play
already-
has been
alright,
so much
but-
better.
He's saying this is like the NFL. We already know that it was going to be Chiefs or Niners. We know that the Chiefs and AFC were going to make the Super Bowl.
We're
No
saying-
one and
no,
the
I'm
AFC
just saying
can't
that, like,
win
No, we're
against
saying
Mahomes.
in the
Because in
we're
the
saying in the sense
NFL
of how many injuries we got this year because
Oh, it's not,
of
no, that's
torn
not even what I'm
Achilles
saying.
or
That's not even what I'm saying. That's the way I said. The reason why I said it's like the NFL is because the NFL. I mean, there's still 28 teams eligible to make the playoffs
Mhm.
with like
Yeah, but we
like
still
week
we,
15.
all right, but let's be
Like,
honest.
I was going to say 5 weeks left, but you're.
But we
probably
still
right.
knew that
It's
Yeah.
close.
3.
we still knew it was probably going to be Chiefs or
Yes,
Niners.
but he's
Well, yeah,
he's
but-
trying to say that there was those teams that were very high up, teams like the Panthers and the Bears who were very far down, and then like the entire
There was
league
like
was just in the
24
middle.
teams that were all
Exactly.
eligible.
Exactly.
But
It
in
was-
this sense, it's more fun than the
Yes.
the NFL because anything can really happen
That's
at
what I'm
this point.
saying.
honestly,
Because there's so many more
anybody
games, and there's
can
less
win the
weight
cup.
on, and there's a little bit less weight on just one game.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like
feel
in
like
NFL, we already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
yes, that, and I agree with you because in the NHL, pretty much anybody who makes the playoffs can win the cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because injuries
Yeah.
happen at a whim.
Look, the Panthers almost made it.
I know
Let's
the
look at
Panthers almost got it,
let's
and they were the 8th seed.
Yeah.
It's
Let's look
incredible.
At look at the Golden Knights, the Stanley Cup champions. Then they beat the Rangers, yet they lost to the Devils.
Yep. It's
so
just
anything can
it's-
happen at any game.
This is why we love the NHL.
It's action.
It's in our opinion. I think I can speak for all of us when I say this, but
Yes.
in our opinion, the NHL is the best professional league.
Yeah.
Oh,
Out
absolutely.
of the 4 major ones, it's the best
And
professional.
Do I
league.
agree
Exactly.
with Gary Bettman's managing issues? Sometimes, absolutely not.
I think
Yes.
until the NFL goes back to its
But-
2010 and older
Oh, yeah.
ways, the NHL will be the best sport.
The NHL is on top right now because, in our opinion, the NFL
The
is falling
only
off.
Well,
thing,
right.
the only thing
It's
I
gone
can
soft.
say,
It has.
one of the only things I can say Gary Bettman did really good with the NHL is that he brought it more onto mainstream.
Yes.
He brought it way more
I
mainstream.
agree.
Do you know what I forgot about?
What?
There wasn't there the like red zone version of
Yes,
hockey?
the Frozen
Center ice.
Frenzy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Frozen
I,
Ice.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode and
Yeah.
I just forgot about it.
That went pretty well.
It went well.
They
It,
should
it hasn't happened since.
on ESPN2. I think they've had. I'm not sure. They may have had
It's
a
kinda
few
harder to-
episodes on ESPN Plus.
I don't
but
think
It's
not
kind
on-
of harder to
I
do it
don't
for
think
NHL
that's
than
right.
NFL. NFL, you have
Mhm.
how many games in one day?
Mhm.
NHL, you have
Well,
this many
the
games
thing,
here, this
the
many
thing
games
that
there.
made it good for the NHL was because they had all 16 games on one day. Every
Yeah.
team was
Mhm.
playing, which is why it was good.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it with the NHL because
Yeah.
it keeps moving. The NFL has its start stop,
Yeah,
which
some
makes it
days you
easier
have
to
two
cut it.
games.
Unless you have Thursday night, Monday nights.
Oh
and
yeah,
there's
Like some days you'll have 2 games, the next day you'll have
Mhm.
14.
yeah.
Exactly.
Which is, but I'm saying to actually like do it, however many games there are, the
Yeah.
NHL is a bit hard to do because in the NFL you have that start stop. you can cut in pretty easily in between. The NHL, you cut away and somebody scored or somebody just got pummeled to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, like when the Devils played the Golden Knights, Golden Knights went up 1-0. I thought we were done for. Then I look back and it's 2-1. I go upstairs, it's 3-1, and then it goes 3-3, and then we go into overtime, and Tyler Toffoli hat trick wins the game.
Yeah, just
Bruins,
it's a beautiful league.
Bruins have been playing great this year.
Yes.
A repeat of last year.
I hope.
Hopefully.
Honestly, hopefully.
I'm hoping they can get past the first round this year.
That's what I'm saying. They lose to the Devils in the first round. Devils make it to the 8th seed. We'll take that.
They'll make up for a shutout.
You guys have been Devils fans for the first time in your life, I think. Then, who do you hate more, the Devils or the Bruins?
Devils.
That's fair.
Yeah, I hate the Devils more. Honestly,
if I'm being honest, I have nothing against the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, I don't have anything
Who do you hate
against
more, the Flyers or the Devils?
Devils. That's easy.
Devils.
Like when
Islanders.
when Panthers and Bruins were versus each other. I mean, yeah, I guess it was like good that Florida upset. But if I'm being honest, I could care less who would win that series.
That's fair. That's fair.
I also think that Subway Series is going to be very good couple games this year. Even the jerseys are, other than the Rangers jerseys, are absolutely terrible.
I feel like all the jerseys.
The Rangers ones are tough.
The Rangers ones.
You mean the Stadium Series?
Yeah, the Stadium Series.
The Rangers ones are the best ones, but I feel like the Rangers ones are mid. The rest are garbage.
And Sam is right though.
Apparently the Devils are wearing not a normal.
Sam is right on this. When you look at the Rangers jersey, it might look a normal white, but he is right. It is a cream white.
Well, that does.
No, but I'm just saying.
I know.
I think it's actually a regular white.
I would have.
I saw some other pictures.
No.
I would have liked the Rangers jerseys if they added a bit more blue into it.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been more necessary instead of the all white. I know there's a history with you guys wearing all white in outdoor games. Why is that?
We can't because we're the away team.
Oh.
Yeah, they're the away team versus the Islanders.
They always
see if the Islanders were primarily white jersey, then we could wear a primarily
which
blue
is the
jersey.
problem because the Islanders jerseys I think by far are the worst at.
Which wasn't the case about 30 years ago.
Yep.
Where the home team would wear the white,
and
then the road team wore a color.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go back to that or not?
It doesn't really matter, but I think that's pretty cool. That sets it apart from all the other sports.
I think like.
I kind of
actually
like it.
No. In the NFL, the Dolphins wear white when they're home,
and the Cowboys used to as well because of the heat. Because the home team gets the choice of jersey.
Exactly.
How many home games are there a season?
41.
Make it like 20 something. They wear or not 20, like 10 something. Make them wear away.
Remember that Boston game up in Boston a couple of weeks ago with Rangers versus Boston.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Boston Bruins wore their Centennial jerseys, so the Rangers wore their blue jerseys.
Who won that game?
Because the home team
Rangers did.
The home team gets a choice of jersey, but unfortunately, Bettman said that your home jersey should be.
If I'm being honest, man, I think like the white jerseys always look cleaner.
I like for the Rangers. I like the blue and red.
Yeah.
But their jerseys usually go very well.
But their away jerseys nice too.
Their away jerseys very nice as well. But I feel like the Rangers all the Stadium Series jerseys
are mid.
Especially the Islanders. The Islanders are the worst.
Well,
the Devils I would say are second worst. Flyers I feel like is just their normal jersey.
I think the reason why they put the Rangers as the away team because most of when they did play outside they have been considered.
Yes.
2014 Stadium Series, they were considered the away team for both games, Devils Islanders, and 2012 Winter Classic against Flyers, considered away team.
Yes.
And then, 2010 Winter Classic, they were considered the whole team, but most of the time, they were considered away team.
Yes. So, that's, I believe, it for the NHL, because we have a lot to look forward to. We got All-Star Weekend
There's
this
so much.
weekend.
I just have one more
Stadium
question.
Series coming up right after that. What do we have here?
Golden Boy, Connor Bedard. He got injured versus the Devils.
Boy.
Oh yeah, he did.
Jaw. What's his? Did he?
I think he'll come out in a couple weeks wearing a bubble, and then he'll drop the bubble.
Yes.
All-Star or no?
No, because he's still hurt. I feel like it was about a month or two. Well, he made it, but he can't play.
Honestly, I think the Blackhawks' future is promising. It's just that it needs a while.
Yes.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on.
One thing to mention with the NBA, actually, our local Knicks have had the most winning season since most winning month since 1994. They lost only 2 games in January.
And 1994, they made the finals, correct?
Exactly.
Speaking of, they are on an 8-game win streak right now, and they're 3rd in their division.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Brunson just got hurt, right? Or was it? No.
No.
Julius Randle, right?
Julius Randle got hurt.
It's only weeks, though. They thought it was going to be months.
They
But
thought it was
said
gonna be months.
only weeks.
Mm-hmm. They're
So-
labeling it in only weeks.
Yeah, so that's big news for the Knicks. I want to see the Knicks do well this year, I think.
Yeah.
They've been playing really good.
They have been playing really good.
They have.
but-
They
And
have.
they got the top.
I think they're
Villanova
22.
duo.
I think they're
well.
27-22 this year.
Not sure their overall
The
record,
Knicks?
but
The Knicks
They-
are 31-17.
they're
31
in,
and
a,
17.
they're in a fight with Milwaukee for that second Eastern
Yeah.
They're a
Conference
game
seed.
and a half behind Milwaukee.
The problem is when they run into Boston, if they run into Boston, can they beat the Celtics with that
Yeah.
starting 5? Do you think they can?
I
'Cause
think
I
they have a
don't
fighting
know.
chance. Honestly,
They have a chance, but can
I
they
think-
win in a 7-game series?
I think how they've been playing
They're
recently, if
9-1
they
in
can
the
keep
last
it
5.
up,
They can
I
probably
without
win
a
a
doubt.
couple at home.
They're
But
only
Yes, they can win a
lost.
couple at home, but can they win the
Their
series?
only
That's my
their
question.
only 2 losses was when they lost
Probably
to the
not.
Mavericks, 128.
They
124.
can't win a series.
Mhm.
Probably not. I at least
Against
I don't think
Boston.
so.
Oh wow.
I feel like they could make it to the conference finals.
They can, but it'd be a long shot.
I guess they were on a 5-game win streak, lost to Mavericks, won, lost to Magic, and then now they're on their 8-game win streak. So
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty good month for the Knicks.
And
then
Their
someone from
best
Fantastic.
month since they made the finals.
and they
so.
they've actually beaten the Bucks and the Suns. So
Didn't someone from the
Mhm.
Mavericks make like a record or something like that?
Yeah, Doncic
Luka
went
Doncic had 73
73.
points.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right after Embiid 70
Yeah,
points.
Embiid had 70, and then Doncic, I think the next night dropped 73.
Yeah.
which
He
is
said,
the
"Hold
most
my
since
I was
Kobe's
disgusted.
81.
there's someone who I think has like he was at a streak with games with 30+ points. I think on the Knicks,
He said, "Hold my Red Bull. I'll top your
I
score."
think it was Devontae DiVincenzo.
something like that. But he
Dante
has,
either-
DiVincenzo.
he has like
Dante
he's like 5
DiVincenzo.
games straight that he's dropped 30+.
Dante DiVincenzo's been playing great.
Someone
Yes,
just
he
had,
has.
someone just had a
Like I
triple
thought he
double.
would be like a kind of like a mid pickup, but like,
Nah.
he's been playing fantastic.
Never doubt those
Bro,
Italian.
Dante
never doubt those
DiVincenzo
Italian
went off
ballers.
at Villanova.
I know.
I know.
I saw someone had like a 10.
Same to
10,
Jalen
10,
Brunson.
so which is crazy.
All
But,
right.
We should probably start talking about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Alright.
that does it. Michael, you're
Yes.
up NFL divisional
Oh
round.
boy.
So, the NFL divisional round was definitely something to watch. We're going to start with the Ravens versus the Texans. A game we all thought was going to be a really good game. Not so much. The Ravens took control of the game and beat the Texans 34-10.
Speaking of, Lamar Jackson was the rushing leader that game.
Okay.
What a surprise! My
Yep.
goodness.
Yeah. All right. And now, one of 2 really good games of the week. Packers at the Niners. Jordan Love played really good that game, but couldn't get it done, and the Niners won 24-21. And then the winning streak continues for the Lions as they take care of business versus the Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, winning 31-23. And then
And they made their first NFC
Yeah.
championship since 1991. The Lions.
and yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but
What do we
the Stadium Series jerseys for all teams have just been put up for sale.
They're like
Really?
Officially
Yep,
put up for
officially up
sale.
for sale.
Like,
How much?
the ranges are $280.
Of course.
Does that look
280,
normal white or-
280.
It's normal white.
Oh, it
It-
is.
Way
it's
too
normal-
much
it's
for a
normal white.
jersey.
But the
Alright,
numbers
Way
are
too
the numbers
much
are.
for a
All right,
jersey.
and now back
Those are
to
sick.
the divisional round. Our final game, biggest upset was Chiefs beat the Bills at Patrick Mahomes' first road game of his career, and he took care of Josh Allen and the Bills because the Bills choked the game and Tyler Bass missed a
Missed
field goal to tie the game to send it overtime,
Yeah, that was terrible.
and Patrick Mahomes goes on to the conference championship.
Speaking
versus
of
Ravens.
Patrick Mahomes, I believe he only has 3 losses in his career and
2 to Brady, 1 to Burrow.
Yeah.
Wide right again for Buffalo. About 30 years after Scott Norwood, Tyler Bass goes wide right, and the Bills fall short of the AFC Championship and
Yet
the
again.
all-important Super Bowl
Then again,
yet again.
it's the
For
Bills.
the 18th
It's the
year.
Bills.
The 18th year in a row.
Bills
This is
Mafia, I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on, 8, 9. Third year in a row they lost in the divisional
I know.
playoffs.
I know.
And then speaking of
And at home as well.
Well, first on the road, Kansas City at home to Bengals at home.
and then anyway, then speaking of the conference championship, we got Kansas City versus Baltimore. It started off good for the first 5 minutes of the game,
That was all right.
and then it kind of just
Lamar
Chiefs
Lamar
the whole
caught a
time.
pass from himself. That was the Ravens'
That was
highlight of the day.
honestly.
They had a lot of
Yeah.
lowlights though.
I mean, the Ravens did shut out the Chiefs in the second half, but they only scored 3 points in that second half, so you couldn't do it. And then going to the Lions-Niners game, Lions were up 24-7, I believe, going into halftime. And then they ended up throwing that lead and losing 34-31, which is actually the same thing that happened in the 1967 championship between the Niners and Lions. The Niners were up 24-7, and then the Lions won 34-31. So it's the opposite.
How about that?
Yeah.
That is
Thought that was
an
pretty cool.
interesting coincidence. So we get Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift in the Kansas City Chiefs
Super Bowl 54
against
rematch.
Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, and the rest of the San
And
Francisco
a repeat
49ers.
of
Super Bowl 54.
And not to get all conspiratorial for all of you. 2020, Sean, we had Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl.
Yes.
And we had
Election year
Trump
with
Biden.
more than
Now
likely Trump
2024,
versus Biden.
Chiefs, Niners Super Bowl, Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl again, and Trump Biden.
Don't forget about
election.
at that point it was a leap year, and this year's a leap year. So
Well, prepare for March, everybody. We're going back home.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking.
actually, last time they were in the Super Bowl, George Kittle actually said we're gonna be back.
We're gonna be back.
He said that in the Super Bowl. No,
Yeah.
this is what he said. He didn't say we wouldn't be back in the Super Bowl.
He
Be
said that
quiet.
we will be
No,
back.
he did not say
come
that.
on. Let Sean
He
talk.
said in the Super Bowl 54 mic'd up video, he said, I will be back.
I will be back and I will seek vengeance.
Yes, that's what he said, not we will be back.
I will be back. Yeah.
Not that different. But anyway,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
so now he is back. Christian McCaffrey makes
And I
his
remember
first,
that video 4 years ago.
Christian McCaffrey makes his first Super Bowl appearance.
Yes, he does.
And
The Chiefs,
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but they lost an edge rusher for the game, which is going to be a big loss for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Willie Gay,
I'm not-
who was supposed to be the spy.
I saw Chris Jones.
He
I
was
think got
out
injured.
for the AFC Championship. I'm not sure.
I'm
if
pretty
he's
sure.
out for the
I'm
Super
pretty sure
Bowl.
Chris Jones got injured, number 95. I
Could
saw him.
be
I
right.
saw him limping off the field and then going
That
into the
could
10.
be right.
I just want to know,
can't be
how does
sure.
Patrick Mahomes not get injured on that one play in the AFC Championship game
I
mean,
know,
where he
that
got
was-
bent backwards?
That
Yeah.
was weird.
Yeah, his ankles went backwards, where they really shouldn't.
Because
And
in
his-
the playoffs for I don't even know how many years now, he's had ankle injuries.
Tony,
that
there's
have
something wrong with
caused-
him.
he's gonna get he's gonna get twisted at one point. Back to a point.
Are you
Dark
dirty frog?
magic.
My ankle.
Oh my goodness.
My
Oh my
ankle.
goodness.
I'm dirty frog.
We'll have a Super Bowl preview next week, but I want to ask a question. Who are we rooting for? In this?
I'm rooting Niners.
49ers.
Niners.
No one.
I
49ers.
honestly.
Alright,
couldn't-
I'm done.
Niners,
Alright,
though.
if I'm being
Let's
honest,
let Sean.
even though I do think the NFL is a joke, this Super Bowl is going to be a good game. Niners Chiefs back in 2020, great football game, and it was. This year it will be again. I know we're all, oh, it's Niners and Chiefs. Well, guess what? This game is going to be a good and great football game.
I've been saying
And
that
I'm
as
rooting
well.
for the
This is
49ers, and I
going-
want the 49ers to
This
win.
is going to be a very good football game. It's going to be hard to root for one of the teams. However.
Yeah.
Root for 49ers. I'm rooting for 49ers.
I mean,
I just
I don't want the Chiefs to win again.
Can I tell you why I'm
But
rooting for 49ers?
The Niners, I'll tell you why I don't want to root for the 49ers.
Why?
Remember back to the NFC divisional game against Green Bay. They were down, 20 to whatever
20
at
to
halftime
17?
or in the third
They're-
quarter.
Yeah.
they're up
No, but
20 to
they
10.
were down by 2 scores or
those, like,
whatever.
A decent
27.
amount.
And remember McCaffrey on the sideline with that thing saying, "Oh, my thighs hurt. No, I need the chiropractor or whatever the hell it was." And then Debo Samuel into the locker room, back out, and then back into the locker room. They're such front runners. Once they start losing, they just quit. Why would you want to root for a team? And then why would you want to root for the Chiefs, who have won 2 out of the past 3
Speaking
Super Bowls?
I'm mainly rooting for George
Speaking
Kittle.
of, if
He-
right now, if Patrick Mahomes, let's say he goes crazy and has a 20-year career, I'm not saying it happened, but if he somehow does, right now he's on pace to make 16 Super Bowls and win 12 of them.
All right, can I explain?
If he wins this year.
Can I explain my reason why I'm rooting for 49ers? Super Bowl 47, they lost. To go to the NFC Championship game, Super Bowl 48, they lost. And then they lost Super Bowl 54. To go to the NFC Championship game, to go Super Bowl 56, they lost. And then they lose again in the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row. And the 49ers, they're just trying to get that 6th Super Bowl. And, like, they feel like it's right there, but they just can't do it. And now it's a time they can actually do it. And they deserve it, though. With all they've been through.
Yeah, I have two main reasons for my pick on the 49ers. One, George Kittle.
Like the Chiefs.
One, I don't like the Chiefs. Two, George Kittle. I really like George Kittle. And three,
you don't like the Chiefs.
I don't like the Chiefs. And four,
one, I don't like the Chiefs. Two, I don't like the Chiefs. Three,
I don't like the Chiefs.
What's your fourth?
Four, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, has the chance to be the first Mr. Irrelevant, I believe, to start a Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah, that would be a good story. The problem is I don't want the NFL marketing department to have anything.
Yes, but speaking of, I think I saw something that he is the third youngest QB, I think, to make to.
Last time, he's like last time Niners did make a Super Bowl with a young quarterback was Colin Kaepernick when they
lost to the Ravens.
Well, I know, but they also had Frank Gore on the team, Michael Crabtree.
That was a goated team.
They had
go back to
Patrick Willis on defense.
Imagine having the number.
Hold on, stop. Let me talk. And that game, the Ravens were up 28-6. The power goes out.
Yep.
And 49ers almost come back. And the final score was 34-31.
Yep.
And now here we go again. 49ers have a young quarterback, but this time it's Brock Purdy. Can he get the 6th Super Bowl? Well, Kaepernick could have got the 6th Super Bowl.
Yeah. He could have.
I want to go back to something. I want to go back to the conspiracy theory of
2020.
Yeah. Sean actually made an interesting point when I was talking to him yesterday when he said 4 years apart.
Do you want me to explain it?
Fine, you can explain it.
All right. 4 years apart were, I know you're probably going to say BS, but
what do we have?
All right, 4 years apart. Patriots and Giants were 4 years apart. Super 4-2, 4-6, even numbers.
Yep.
4 years apart. 49ers, Chiefs, 4 years apart. Both are even numbers. And all those 4 games, AFC team wears the home jersey, NFC team wears the white jersey. So when the first Patriots and Giants, they had Eli Manning when Eli Manning won those 2, and Giants won their 4th franchise Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And now, of course, they're going to have the Chiefs win it. So the Chiefs won their 4th Super Bowl in 4 years. Well, but here's the thing: when Tom Brady won his 3rd Super Bowl, he won it back to back, and now they're going to have Mahomes win his 3rd Super Bowl back to back.
And there's
a lot of parallels.
There's only in the last 20 years, I believe. I don't know the exact record, but I believe it's 16-3. The home jersey has more losses than the white jersey.
You know what? Why won't I be surprised if the Chiefs are found cheating?
Honestly,
I can say the same. I can say the same for the Niners.
All they need is a deflate gate.
Because that is it at the end of Ravens Chiefs when it should be a PI?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't call that.
Well, I feel like the Ravens beat themselves, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they were
triple
terrible.
coverage, Lamar interception, and Zay Flowers being an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I thought like the keys were wide open for John Harbaugh right there. AFC Championship, you're at home.
Yep.
Go to the Super Bowl
with Lamar in his best season.
Yeah.
But well, whatever. I think the best case scenario is a meter falling on Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, and we got the Super Bowl canceled this year.
And we also got Seton Hall at Villanova on Super Bowl Sunday.
That's a big game.
Just make it a rock paper scissors match.
Honestly, that'd be more entertaining.
Yeah,
but it will be a good game. I think we can say that. We'll preview that for you next week, along with more in college basketball and the NHL.
I just want to say one more thing. Back to my jersey thing. The 3 games in the past 20 years where the team that's not the white jerseys won. One of them was Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54 against the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, 3 years in a row, the white team in the white jersey won.
Yeah, then
Rams. No, 55 Buccaneers, 56 Rams, 50. I can go all the way back to Super Bowl 45 if you want to do this.
He's
I don't know
got a while, but
40
we don't
I
have
know.
enough time for that.
Yeah.
We'll have a full Super Bowl preview for you next week here on the Pascack Clutch, along with more in college basketball and the NHL, probably more. I do want to mention one thing. We had the Rolex 24 this past weekend at Daytona. Congrats to Congrats to the Porsche team. They won their They won their 18th overall win at Daytona in the 24 hours, and Penske, who runs that team, won his first Rolex 24 since 1969. That's all for us here on the Pascack Clutch Podcast. I'm Matthew Merlino. For Michael McKay, Alex McKay, Sam Koppelman, and Sean Barry, we will see you next Wednesday for Super Bowl Week edition.